your end?
I don't. It's. I'm not seeing it. Is what I. Okay. Private chat. Nope. Comments. Are we live?
We are live.
All right. Just gonna.
Did you see this thing on the side though, Gary? To get the
I see.
countdown.
I see private chat. I see comments, and I really don't see anything else. It's usually there.
Okay. Oh, poor Gary hit the wrong button. He bounced out of the room. Let's see. I gotta do this and get myself together again. Okay. Did you didn't see it, Gary?
No, I'm sorry. I have not seen it.
Okay. I don't want to fiddle around with this.
Are we live, Michael? You'll edit this out.
We're live.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, hello everyone. We're on behalf of Gary and Mike and myself. We're waiting on Scott to join in. He was probably wrapping up or putting a deal together. If you know Scott, that's not an unlikely event. While we're ready for his grand entrance, Gary, Mike, tell us what you've been doing this week.
Watching baseball. Watched my team fail miserably last night.
That's very
It was kind of like Back to the Future. It was after 86 years of futility, the Red Sox basically, were the team to beat for several years, almost a decade. But this is obscured, like a lot of things in sports today. The idea of the 3 games and one place, used to be a 1-game play, right? I mean,
well, that's what I was expecting. I was expecting like 1 game, and then they said all of them were at Yankee Stadium. I'm like, wow.
Most. I mean, for the old guys before our time, the most famous game ever was the Giants win the pennant. It was a 1-game playoff. Bobby Thompson hit the home run, but it's like everything else on earth. The money changes it. The idea to expand a product or alter a product to make it more publicly viable. It's and there were some pretty interesting things. I mean, if you guys are from a territory that aren't Yankees fans, and I'm from Philadelphia, so natural enemy, but pretty cool to bring up a rookie and have the kid pitch that good. I don't care whose team he was on.
You had a bunch of
and my Phillies had one of the greatest collapses in history when I was an infant, where we were all the way up in 64 and we completely fell apart. But you almost saw that with the Tigers. I think they were up 14 or 15 games on Cleveland.
Hey, Scott.
Cleveland came back to take it over, and then
are you having trouble logging in?
No, I've been in StreamYard.
You're in StreamYard.
Yeah, I'm in the StreamYard. It says that you will enter the studio as a guest. The host could add you to the stage at any time.
Oh, well,
I'm not seeing him here.
Yeah, we're not seeing you. So
I'll tell you what.
Mike's going to
log out, Mike, and have him log back in. What do you think?
Okay, now I see you guys.
Okay. And I see you here.
Oh, now we got the 4th. Okay.
Scott, welcome to the show. We were commiserating with Mike and Gary about the Red Sox demise from the playoffs, and just talking about the vagaries of current baseball and crazy playoff schedule.
Well, I'm a Met fan, so you're not going to get any sympathy
Our
from
deepest
me.
condolences.
You feel my pain.
Hey, don't tell me you're Mets, Jets. You're
only the Mets. My cardiologist won't allow me to follow any other sports.
Well, listen. How much pain can one person take? The Nets haven't been right since Julius Erving, right? You could maybe say the Jason Kidd period.
Yeah.
And last time I saw Joe Namath, he was hawking hearing aids. So
he left pantyhose and he went to hearing aids.
Was.
Yeah, very funny. Well, Scott, hey, glad you're here with us.
Well, thank you all for inviting me.
So, Lair, why don't we officially kick off? You know, we've been live, but we'll do a little kickoff. Scott will give us some of his information. We'll learn and enjoy what we're learning today.
Welcome to our Big Idea podcast. We've got the pleasure of having Scott joining us today. Scott, what we do on the show is try to feature some of the people we like and respect, and you fit all those categories. Why don't you tell the people that are watching what you've been doing, what your company is, how you perform your services, and we'll work around you.
Well, I had about 30 years in the car business, and my last dealership was in Virginia. And a few years ago, we were having some trouble with reviews, like tons of dealerships have. And we just saw that the customers, despite saying that the satisfied customers would say, sure, I'll give you a review, and then we would never hear from them again. So I came up with an idea to create an app for our salespeople and finance managers and whatever to make it a more direct process, more systematic process. About a year or so after that, my partner down there, I never lived in Virginia. I lived in New York. Needed to close down the dealership because of he just didn't have the time. He had some family issues to deal with. So we closed down the dealership, and I still needed something to do. So I knew I had this app, and I kind of cleaned it up a little bit and put it into a sellable state. And right at that time, COVID hit. So I figured, okay, well, I'm in trouble now. But then the stimulus checks came, and car dealers started doing well, and those were the people who I knew the best. So I started selling it right at the same time, and I did well. And I've expanded on over the years to just about every other type of business. And here I am today. I know Gary a little bit from LinkedIn mostly, and he's the kind of person that I like to talk to because he's in the dealerships now. I was in the dealerships 5 years ago, and I had one in the auctions and so forth. But the people who are in the dealerships now and have their finger on the pulse of what's going on are really an important source of information for me.
Scott, what do you do?
Well, I have an app called the Review Machine, and we sell it to all types of businesses, but still about half of my customers are car dealers.
So I'm very familiar with reputation marketing as opposed to reputation management. Are your clients, are they? We have a statistic, and I mentioned this to the 13,000 out of the 17,000 rooftops that don't respond to any good or bad reviews. They just ignore it. And they're losing 30 to 35% revenue because they won't answer the people that took the time, energy, and effort to pay them the time of day to write a nice review or a bad review. It's not for the person that wrote the review that you want to respond to. It's for the thousands of other people that are in market to buy a car that are checking out your reviews, and they're saying to themselves, these people wrote a nice review and you didn't even say thank you. So is that the kind of thing that your app can help people with?
Well,
or
yes.
Is it the kind of asking them for the review?
Well, both really. And
Okay.
and when I train and onboard new customers, I always tell them that one of the things that they need to be doing is responding, because and exactly the point that you made, that the audience is not the one person who may have even left a bad review. Those may be even more important to respond to, and to do it in a way that you're really talking to the broader audience instead of being defensive. It's a much better way to show empathy, no matter what it is, unless it's blatantly ridiculous or out of line, to show empathy, because the real customers, and as you said, thousands of people who are reading reviews. And I find a lot of, and we'll talk about car dealers here today, a lot of car dealers have no idea how many people are actually reading those reviews. And when I show them the numbers, they're dumbfounded. In 3 months, 1,100 people may have read a recent bad review. And these are not people who have nothing to do on the internet. These are people who are obviously shopping for a car, and more to the point, shopping for a car potentially at your dealership. That's why they're reading your reviews.
Scott, not to mention the fact that if you respond quickly to a negative review, sometimes you turn it around and those people become your biggest
Absolutely.
advocates.
Absolutely. If you respond the right way, those people can become your best customers because they have the greatest story to tell. It's easy to say, hey, I went in there and I drove out with a new car in an hour and everything was great. People find that even hard to believe. But if you can tell a story that you had an issue and the dealership responded positively to that issue and got it resolved, that could bring in tons and tons more customers and create so much more confidence in the business.
I would like to bring up 2 points. One is the bad review. And when you respond to that, take accountability. Hey, we had a bad day. We want to make it right. How do we make it right with you? Get in touch with the general manager offline. That way you're not arguing and you're not stirring up drama. For the person that says all these F you and all that kind of stuff, leave them alone. Because people read that and go, yep, wackadoo, and there's plenty of them out there. So you leave those alone and don't worry about them. But the person has, hey, you said to be in here by 10. It's now 2:00 on a Saturday. You ruined my weekend. What are you going to do about it? That's a legitimate 1-star review.
Sure.
And you got to address that. We're trying to do better. Yes, we dropped the ball. I'll take accountability and we'll do better. I wanted you to touch base with me offline. And somebody reading that goes, yeah, we're all human.
Yeah. And even beyond that, I know Larry does a lot of, you do a lot of recruiting and staff training. It's important for the staff to see that the management of the company takes this seriously. If you're the star of a bad review, and the staff takes and the management takes action, it makes a big impact, and it has a domino effect throughout the dealership. That
Well, Scott,
people know that this is serious.
I'm starting a huge company that's going to pioneer this amazing technology that most people aren't aware of. It's called the phone. And if you can remove your stupidity hat and actually answer your phone and act like each call is an opportunity or a problem to solve or just a customer, it's amazing what could happen. Scott, I'm in, at this point, 100 dealers. Thank God I'm blessed. You can see I surround myself with good people, but you would think like I'm homeless. Or broke. That's how quickly I jumped to answer my phone.
Sure.
Mike and Gary are chuckling because there's never been a call where I haven't put you on mute so I could answer the phone and either handle a situation or sign up a dealer. So
I answer every call, and I feel the same way. I think
you're
that's
smart.
important.
What is the purpose of having a phone and not using it?
Yeah.
It's just silly.
I think it's important, especially if a customer knows that they have a problem, that it's not going to be prolonged. I'm going to call you, you're going to call me 100 times, a ping pong match.
We were just talking baseball before you got on, and you'll hear it said all the time: the best ability is availability.
Absolutely, showing up is everything in life.
Yep.
So, Scott, I've got a couple of questions. Your business, it's your app, and you go to the customers first, or is it where you get when you're helping a dealer? how are you helping a dealer? Are you getting it off of their lists of people in service, or are you just watching all of their social media? There's so many different places. We have Google review. We've had for many years the dealer rater review. Then you would have the OEM want to review, and then the Michelin tire people want to review, and the consumers just get inundated. So share with us how you're helping the dealer, and so I can understand this a little bit better. I mean, reputation and social media, all of this is like new words, but now we've been talking about it for 10 years, and it's not going away. And that's why the OEMs demand an email, a good email, because if they're not happy with the dealer following up, they're going to do the dealer follow up. But you're basically helping them build their brand and continue to build their brand by showcasing the positive and then showing how they're handling it. So I know I just spit out a lot, but if you could unpack a little bit and kind of help me understand what you're doing in the dealerships.
Well, one of the things that we emphasize and make happen is a systematic process that occurs at the point of sale. We don't ambush them a week later, and I purposely have not automated the app because I didn't want a situation where dealers would send it out once a month to 150 customers or whatever, because people are told on TV constantly, if you get a link on your text or an email, don't open it. It's going to be a scam. It's going to destroy your computer or whatever. So we want to get the customer's consent at the end of the transaction, at the point of sale. Hey, if I send you a text message, would you mind leaving us a quick review? Right when they're there on the premises, they're going to say yes 99.99% of the time, and then we use the app to send them a text, or in some cases a QR code if it's a service department, let's say, where they may not have a clear path to the phone number, and get it done right then and there. As we all know, the honeymoon in the car business is very short, so we want to get it done at their customer's happiest moment.
Scott, what's the pain point for that? In other words, products like this, the staff needs to be coached as far as how to use it. And when they poo-poo it, they're like, yeah, that'll.
Of course.
Then your product is short-lived. Is maybe
the
months
compliance and the supervision by management is very important to this. And Larry, when you're training, I don't know if you emphasize reputation management at all, but it certainly would be helpful from my point of view, because everybody has an excuse not to do something. Oh, the phone rang. It was lunchtime. Blah blah blah. But this is money in your pocket if you're a salesperson. If you're working on commission, you need as many people as possible walking through that door. And
well, the sales pain point is, by you not doing this, you're losing 30 to 35%. So take the number from the all-inclusive number from last year and minus 30%. That's how much you're losing.
Hey, Scott, not only do I believe in what you're saying and understand it, what I like to do is say, how insane is it that the whole concept of follow-up calls is so we can get CSI money from the OEM or get our individual spin money. What happened to the concept of I want to follow up to keep my customer happy, so it'll send me more customers? The repeat referral percentage of close is staggering when compared to a stranger walking in.
Yeah, I find that dealerships now are relying more on incentives. Let me pay you to bring me customers. And in my view, if their friend referred them, they think their friend just did it for the money. So I'm not really crazy. I'm totally against pay any type of compensation for review practices, and I think that salespeople don't really understand the value of reputation, which shocks me Because if you ask any of them if they're going to buy dollar pizza, if they're going to check reviews, they sure will. But when they expect people to buy a $70,000 car and not do it, it doesn't make any sense.
Scott, as far as reputation, you just indicated you're not crazy. We may have to remove you from the show because
Okay.
Mr. Larkin, Mr. Sillman, and myself are all mentally unstable.
Speak for yourself.
If you get a second
yourself,
opinion, you
Larry.
may find out I am crazy.
Hey, Larkin,
so-
if you're hanging with me, how stable can you be?
That's for sure. But let's before I lose my train of thought, because it can be easily dished. For years, we trained that when you're delivering the car, you're asking for referrals. If you're happy, can you, so in the car industry 101, so what you're doing is when a dealer wants to take things serious and they want to make sure that the marketing messages are out there and that they're being worked on. Your process is that's at the same point where you need to ask for the review. And then that's when you text them the information. And that's kind of where the handshake that we don't do, because we think that we used to walk them down to service and that we would introduce them to the service manager and the service manager would greet them. And then that customer would be thrilled to come and do business. So now your hook or yours is basically welcoming those customers into the dealership for the journey. So now they're in digitally, and then they can be given, service reviews, and then they can be introduced. So I'm taking where what you're doing is, what do you got, like a fire alarm going on with you?
I don't know what that is. I think that might be my computer there.
So it's where I would say you're finding really successful is when you've got somebody in the store that's passionate about getting these reviews. Would that be a fair statement?
Oh, of course. I mean, and it's typically the owner in an independent dealership that knows that, what his kids are going to eat
This is important.
tomorrow.
We can't have people having a bad day and yelling at customers, and we can't have people not responding in our organization and allowing that to happen. Yeah, and so that's the disconnect where you get, if you don't have strong leadership, anyways, the dealer's going to be sloppy. The dealership's going to be, they're going to be doing sloppy on appraisals. They're going to be doing sloppy on everything else. But when you get somebody that's dialed in and they're asking and saying that we want you to give us a referral right at the end of the transaction, well, that's where it should be. And then if they're happy with it, please send us a call, your friends and family. And that's how salespeople develop their big book of business and their reputation that they're good people and they just want to sell you a car at a fair price and not run you through the chaos of other stores that take 3 hours to get information, take too much. And so I like that. So, I mean, it would be a commitment from the dealer, really, that I want to get this done. I mean, I know someone's just like saying, well, I need you to watch it, but they are waking up to the fact is they don't need negative reviews sitting on for the public to see that.
Well, really more to the point, I mean, especially in the auto industry where, car dealers have a reputation, they're the punchline of a million jokes. When you want to insult somebody, you call them a used car salesman. So, you're already at a
negative.
disadvantage. So you really, it's even more important that in the auto industry that you take care of your reputation, because people are going to be skeptical to begin with, and in all kinds of surveys, people say that buying a car is one of the most fearful things that they have to do in life.
Yeah, they hate it. They hate the whole thing. And what I like today is now that everything is moving in the direction of digital, you can't run and hide. The government's going to catch you. You can't do dumb things. And so where all the information is on the Google reviews and on the raters and on everything. And I'm saying in the next 3 or 4 years, you watch, the OEMs are going to be all over that, because with their digital platforms moving in on this, it's just where all the action is. It's no more in the showrooms. It's no more in the lots. I mean, you got to have those meetings, but it's digital. It's how and everyone has a voice now because they got access to the internet.
Well, I also run into, you mentioned OEMs, that some dealers that I speak with are more concerned with the factory surveys than they are with the public surveys.
It's a lot of money they're chasing.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
understand that, but they at least have to be on equal footing. At
sure.
least, I would say with maybe a slight nod to the public.
If the public's not happy with you, that you're going to know.
Yep.
I mean, you don't buy from that dealer,
Sure.
and it's pretty easy to get a black eye. You don't have to do a whole lot to do that.
Nope. And
All right.
also, Gary, I heard through some dealerships and some finance companies. I know you take care of a lot of F&I products. Some finance companies are beginning to link a prevalence of bad reviews with a high default rate. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
another issue. You may have your banks sending you letters. Goodbye. We can't take a risk with a
Well,
guy like you with bad reviews.
if you've got some rogue F&I and you're getting cancel of products all the time, and it's you need that reputation. That one is a whole other hotbed of you. No one really knows what's going on in the F&I office unless they have what's that guy, Marty Hugh, his auto genius or something that he can listen. Looks like you're at a discotheque.
No,
Scott.
I don't know what that is. Every time I move, I think it's a
Well,
lighting thing.
you're in the woods. You're in the woods in Great Barrington, so they still got little chipmunks running through to make sure you got power.
I think it's like a lighting thing.
That's very funny. All right, so Scott, how can people get in touch with you?
Well, they could go to thereviewmachine.com. Don't forget the part. Or they can call me at 406-561-6050. Email me at Scott, that's with 2 T's, at thereviewmachine.com. And once again, don't forget that THE. So Scott at thereviewmachine.com.
And Scott, if I have dealers that contact me and they want to sign up, so is there a sign up process?
Yeah, there's a sign up process. It's very simple. And of course, if you call me, and I'll do everything I can to make it easy and fast for any of your customers.
Wonderful. So for anybody out there that's listening, if you want to get some more information and talk to Scott or see how his process works, you see he's available. He'll get on a call. Do you like Zoom or?
No, I make it simple, just on the phone. We do the demo just with the phone. Everything's easy, simple. The app is made to work exactly the way it looks. I have some people 85 years old using it. I have one dealership in New Jersey with 13,000 reviews, by the way.
Awesome. So you got some raving fans that have done well with it. It's helped their business. It's made it transparent. Consumers love it, and dealers are loving it. That's what it is today. Yeah. Your local. About how far is from a local community? How far are you pulling from, or what's your
I have customers now all over the country.
What I'm talking about,
all over the country.
But I'm talking about dealers.
Dealers all over the country.
Their community, 10 miles, 20 miles, 20.
Well, listen, the way the internet goes now, I have some dealers in Michigan that are selling people cars in Maryland, and that puts even more value on the reviews, because that's 100% of what they're depending on to make that decision. To even make that phone call to begin with, they're depending on the reviews. And you could spend $20,000 a week or more on advertising, as many dealers do, but people are still going to check your reviews before making that call.
Well,
So,
I see this as grabbing back the local people that maybe
sure.
you've lost because you had some bad GMs
Yep.
and some bad F&I, and now you've cleaned up your act, and now you want to start talking to your local community because
Sure.
that's the vision now. I mean, dealers need to be buying cars from their own community. They need to be getting back. It's a whole system now that, you know, when the OEMs are looking at, you know, who's selling what, they want the local community. And when people are going outside, that shows that the local dealers pissed off a lot of people, and they need to change how they do business.
I mean, people will have no problem driving past two Lexus dealers to get to a Lexus dealer with more reviews. They would have no
Couldn't agree
problem.
more. They'll be
And
treated properly,
Yep.
and the service, and they'll come back. Well, that's wonderful. Thank you, Scott. I'm glad we were able to catch up with you on Friday. Got a wonderful weekend heading out. Beautiful weather in Connecticut. You're enjoying it up in the Berkshires.
yeah, I'm here on a little vacation in the Berkshires. I typically live in New York, but a friend of mine has a house here, and he's out of town. He generously allowed me to come for a couple of days.
Tanglewood's great.
Yep.
I mean, you just got so many
Yeah, I've been
different.
there.
Lee, Lennox. I mean, and now it's gorgeous right now. Everything's in full bloom. Well, good for you.
Well,
All
thank
right.
you guys. I really, really appreciate it. And everybody listening and the three of you have a great weekend.
You too, sir. Thank you.
You
Take
too,
it easy,
Scott.
guys.
Thank you.
Good chatting with you.
All right, let's see if I can do.
You take me out or I do something?
We don't
Trying.
know.
I'm trying.
This will be